Bill Wyman recalled how Brian Jones had been pushed aside in the Rolling Stones, noting how the band and management eventually just got fed up with his drug taking. The Rolling Stones are known the world over as the archetypal rock band and one of the few bands that laid the foundation for the genre as we know it. Like some of their British contemporaries and colleagues, the Stones started out as a blues outfit, more specifically Brian Jones' blues outfit, before slowly morphing into the band we know them as today. That process sadly meant pushing Jones aside to put more focus on Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, as the band's former bassist Bill Wyman told Classic Rock in a recent interview. Andrew Oldham decided to get Mick and Keith to start writing songs because he realized that Mick, being the frontman, would probably be the most famous later. Brian originally got much more fan mail than the rest of us. All the girls went for Brian, but he was pushed aside. Then Andrew stopped me, Brian, and Charlie doing interviews, which also elevated Mick and Keith's profile. Obviously, it was ultimately beneficial for Mick and Keith to take on the music, but Brian, who I shared a room with at the time, was always a bit sad, upset that we weren't doing the kind of music he really liked, because we started out doing real blues and he was a blues purist. He added, he'd kind of lost the band, and he didn't feel like he was part of it sometimes, which was very sad. Mick and Keith shared a room, Andrew Oldham and Charlie and me and Brian. That's the way we always did it. So it was me and Brian that went out to clubs, played with local musicians, picked up girls, and had more fun than the others, who used to just stay in the hotel, basically. Mick and Keith used to be writing. They'd come out occasionally, but me and Brian were always out and about. Asked whether his closeness to the late guitarist affected his relationship with Jagger and Richards, Wyman offered, "No. I wasn't just friends with Brian, I was very, very close with Charlie because we were the rhythm section and got on very well. We were both similar, early married, had a child, went home after London concerts to rejoin our family while the others were out partying at the Ad-Lib with all the other celebrities. I had a very close affinity with Charlie. I joined the band on the 8th of December, 1962, because Tony Chapman, the drummer from my band in South London who'd been playing with them for a few months, introduced me. Then they fired him and got Charlie in from the 9th of January, 1963. But on the road, I was with Brian mostly. There was no malice. They just got fed up with his drug taking. None of the rest of us took drugs. Well, Keith, they did a bit, but there was no heavy stuff for years. I never had any, nor did Charlie. We were always completely clean. We had responsibilities, so we behaved ourselves,